Hello everyone, my name is Rich Pearson. I'm a professional counsellor and psychotherapist based in Falmouth in Cornwall, and today we're going to be talking about the adult to adult versus parent to child mode of conversations. Do you ever have recurring conversations, discussions, or even, let's face it, arguments with people where it feels like the other person is taking on the traditional parent kind of role? They're being quite patronising, they're talking down to you, they're dismissing the things that you're saying. Conversely, do you ever feel like sometimes you have conversations with people where they don't take anything that you say seriously? They don't take on board your worries, your concerns, they don't accept any responsibilities for anything, basically acts like a child. This is what is called a parent-child conversation. Now, this is very different from the kind of conversations that actual parents and children will have. Actual children are, to a degree, supposed to be irresponsible. They're supposed to be carefree. They're supposed to be learning new things as they go along. And parents are supposed to be, to an extent, not patronising or condescending, but they have to be the voice of authority because that's where most children learn things from. But when you've got two adults talking to each other and one of you's acting like a child, then the other one inevitably, and this is the interesting thing about this kind of complex, becomes the parent role. And actually vice versa works as well. If you have a conversation with someone and you immediately start off by being patronising and talking down to them, it's almost certain that the other person will have no option but to inhabit the child role in that conversation. And this happens a lot. You see this in relationships, you see it in business partnerships, you see it in friendships where one person talks down to someone else or the other person doesn't want to take responsibility for things. And you see it, you see full-blown grown-ups and people having tantrums and throwing their toys out of the pram, and other people going, well, you just don't know what's good for you and I'm the only one that does. This is not a healthy style and way of having conversations. So think about this next time you're having a conversation, a discussion, hopefully not an argument, but something that is, a discussion between you and someone else. Rather than going for the parent-child kind of relationships where one of you always attempts to essentially take the superior high ground and the other one is forced to take the low ground, imagine if you could have a conversation that is adult to adult. You're an adult, this person's an adult. That's the kind of conversations you want to try and aim for. If you look back on my video about non-violent communication, you'll get a really good idea of how you can still act like the adult in the situation rather than trying to be either the parent or the child. There's a lot more information about adult to adult and parent to child conversational styles, but for now, those are the basics. Next time you have a conversation where one person starts off being patronising, notice how quickly the other person ends up having to become the child role, and vice versa. If the other person starts off by having a tantrum or something, look at how quickly the other person has to take the role of the parent. Remember, big difference between parent and adult, because that's what you want to go for. So when you think about it, if you want to have a conversation with someone, if you're driving home and thinking you're worried about a conversation that you have to have with a spouse or a partner or a friend, or even your child or your parent, think about it. Think about what the most productive way of going about it is. And it's always going to be if both of you can come at it from being adults. And remember, non-violent communication is a really good way to convey your needs and to let emotions take a little bit of a backseat while still being relevant to the communication process. Thank you very much for watching this video on the adult to adult and parent to child conversation styles. If you'd like to see more stuff like this, please subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the next video. Thanks very much.